Is living in New York City in 2024 as glamorous as it seems? Or is there a hidden reality beneath the surface? Today I'm sharing the top 10 things I wish I knew before moving to New York City. This isn't just a list of facts, it's the real deal, based upon my own experiences and what you need to know to make your transition as smooth as possible. So, let's get going. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Peter McLean, and finding your home is my mission. Moving to New York City can be as thrilling as it is daunting. With its iconic skyline and endless opportunities, New York City is a place where dreams come true. But it also comes with its own set of challenges. From navigating the bustling streets to understanding the living expenses in New York, there are many things to consider before making the leap. So, let's explore the 10 things I wish I knew before moving to New York City to help you make the most of your new adventure. Number 10. The real estate market. A whole different ballgame. Let's start with the big one, the New York City real estate market. Wow, was I in for a surprise when I first moved here. The housing market is unlike anything you've ever encountered. First off, everything moves at lightning speed. You see a place you like, you better be ready to make an offer right there and then, because there's probably 10 other people eyeing the same property. And negotiating, well, forget it. In New York City, it's often a case of take it or leave it. But here's the kicker. Even with steep prices, you're likely getting less space than you used to. I remember my first New York City apartment, which I could practically touch both walls with my arms outstretched. But you know what? You adapt. You learn to maximize every inch of space. And before long, you're a pro at urban living. And let's not forget about those co-op boards. If you're buying in a co-op building, which about 80% of New York City buildings are, you'll need to go through an approval process that can feel more like an intense job interview. They'll want to know everything from your financials to your pet's habits. Number 9. The subway station. Your new best friend and sometimes worst enemy. Oh, here's a big one. Get ready to become best friends with the subway. In a city where traffic is perpetually gridlocked and parking spots are as rare as unicorns, the subway is your lifeline. Now, I'll be honest, the subway and I had a love-hate relationship at first. On the one hand, it's incredibly convenient, and it can get you pretty much anywhere in the city at any time, day or night. It's like having a 24/7 chauffeur service at your fingertips. But on the other hand, be prepared for some interesting experiences. You might find yourself squeezed into a car during rush hour, feeling like a sardine in a noisy mobile tin can. And let's not even talk about the summer heat on the platforms. It's like a sauna down there. But here's the thing, the subway is where you see the real New York. It's a melting pot of cultures, personalities, and yes, sometimes smells. You'll witness impromptu dance performances, hear talented musicians, and see acts of kindness between strangers. It's all part of the New York City experience. Pro tip, get yourself a great pair of walking shoes. You'll be doing a lot more walking than you might expect, especially to and from subway stations. Number 8. The food scene. Out of this world, but so are the prices. Let's talk about something that'll make your taste buds sing, the New York City food scene. If you're a foodie, you're in for a treat. New York City, what to expect in terms of culinary experiences? Everything and anything your heart and stomach desires. From world-class dining to hole-in-the-wall gems, New York City has it all. Craving dim sum at 2 a.m.? No problem. Dreaming of a slice of pizza that'll make you weep with joy? You got it. The diversity of cuisines here is mind-blowing. You could eat in a different restaurant every day for years and still not try them all. But here's the catch. All this culinary goodness comes at a price. Eating out in New York City can put a serious dent in your wallet if you're not careful. I learned the hard way when I first moved here and tried to maintain my eat out every night habit from back home. That said, there are ways to enjoy New York City's food scene without breaking the bank. Food trucks and street vendors offer delicious and affordable options. Many high-end restaurants have great lunch specials too. And don't forget about the classic New York City dollar slice. It's a lifesaver when you're hungry and low on cash. Number 7. The city never really sleeps, and neither will you. You've heard of the phrase, the city that never sleeps, right? Well, let me tell you, it's not just a catchy slogan. When considering should I move to New York, this is something you really need to think about. The energy in New York City is electric, 24/7. There's always something happening, and always somewhere to go, and always something to see. It's exhilarating and exhausting. At first I tried to keep up with it all. I'd work all day, go out for drinks with colleagues, catch up with the late night comedy show, then grab a slice of 2 a.m. pizza before finally crawling into bed. It was fun, but wow was I tired. Eventually I learned to pace myself. You don't have to do everything all the time. It's okay to have a quiet night in, even when the city's buzzing outside your window. But here's the flip side. When you do want to go out, you can. Fancy a gourmet meal at midnight? You got it. Need to do some grocery shopping at 3 a.m? No problem. Want to catch a movie at dawn? Well, there's probably a theatre showing one. Number 6, the weather. More extreme than you might think. When I first moved to New York City, I thought I was prepared for the weather. I mean, how different could it be, right? Oh boy, was I in for a surprise. Living in New York City in 2024 means dealing with some pretty extreme weather. The summers are hot and humid, I mean really humid. You'll step outside and instantly feel like you need another shower. The concrete jungle effect is real, folks. All those buildings and asphalt trap in the heat, making the city feel even hotter than the thermometer suggests. And the winters, well, they're cold, like bone-chillingly cold. The wind whipping between the skyscrapers can make it feel even colder. I remember my first New York City winter. I thought I'd never feel warm again. But here's the thing, New Yorkers are tough. They don't let a little or a lot of weather slow them down. You'll see people out and about in all conditions. And there's something magical about the city in the snow, when everything gets quiet and Central Park turns into a winter wonderland. Pro tip, invest in good winter gear. A quality coat, waterproof boots and gloves are essential. And in the summer, light breathable clothes are your best friend. Number 5, the cost of living. High but manageable. Let's talk about money, honey. One of the biggest pros and cons of living in New York is the cost of living. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, New York City is expensive. From housing to food to entertainment, everything seems to cost more here. When I first moved here, I experienced some serious sticker shock. A simple grocery run could easily cost twice as much as what I was used to paying back home. And don't even get me started on the rent prices. But here's the thing, while the cost of living is high, salaries tend to be higher too. Many companies offer New York salaries to compensate for the higher expenses. There are ways to live in New York City without going broke. You can find affordable neighborhoods if you're willing to live a bit further from Manhattan. Cooking at home more often can save you a ton. And there are plenty of free or low-cost entertainment options if you know where to look. Number 4, networking opportunities. Unmatched in New York City. One of the things I wish I'd known earlier about living in New York City is the incredible networking opportunities. New York City is a hub for just about every industry you can think of, and the chances to connect with like-minded professionals are endless. When I first moved here, I was a bit shy about putting myself out there, but I quickly learned that in New York City, networking isn't just about advancing your career. It's a way of life. People here are generally open to meeting new people and sharing ideas. From industry events to meetups, to simply striking up a conversation at a coffee shop. You never know who you might meet or where it might lead. I've made some of my best friends and most valuable professional connections just by being open to conversations with strangers. Pro tip, always have a business card handy. You never know when you might meet someone who could be a valuable connection. Number 3, the city is a lot safer than you might think. When I was weighing the pros and cons of moving to New York, safety was definitely on my mind. The New York City of movies and TV shows can seem pretty rough, but the reality, well, it's much safer than you might expect. Now don't get me wrong, it's still a big city and you need to be street smart, but in my experience, most neighborhoods are perfectly safe to walk around, even at night. The key is to stay aware of your surroundings and trust your instincts. One thing that surprised me was how helpful New Yorkers can be. Despite their reputation for being tough and unfriendly, I found that most people here are more than willing to help you if you're lost or in need. Number 2, the cultural scene. Unbeatable. If you're into the arts and culture, New York City is going to blow your mind. Tips before moving to New York City often focus on practical matters, but let me tell you, the cultural offerings here are a huge part of what makes this city special. From world-class museums to Broadway shows to underground art galleries, there's always something to see and do. And it's not just the big-name institutions. There are countless small theatres, indie music venues and pop-up art shows happening all the time. What I love most is the diversity of the cultural scene. You can catch a classical concert at Carnegie Hall one night and a cutting-edge performance art piece at a Brooklyn warehouse the next. The options are endless. Pro tip, Many museums have pay-what-you-wish days or hours, so take advantage of these to experience New York City's cultural treasures without breaking the bank. Number 1. The sense of community, stronger than you'd expect. Now, the number one best thing to enjoy is the New York community. If you've never been to New York before, you might picture a city of strangers all rushing about their own business. But what I've found is that New York City is full of small, tight-knit communities. Whether it's your neighborhood, your building, or a group centered around a shared interest, there are plenty of opportunities to find your tribe in New York City. I've been amazed at how quickly I've been able to form deep, meaningful connections here. Yes, New Yorkers can seem brisk at first, but scratch the surface and you'll find a city full of people who look out for each other. I've seen neighbors band together during tough times. Strangers help each other during minor crises, and communities rally around local businesses. So in a nutshell, living in New York City is an adventure unlike any other. It's challenging, exciting, frustrating, and rewarding, often all at the same time. But if you come prepared and with an open mind, it can be one of the most incredible experiences of your life. If you like this video and would like to see more content, click on the boxes on the screen. Once again, my name is Peter McLean and I'm a real estate agent with Corcoran here in New York City. Contact me if I can be of service to you. My contact info is in the description box below. If you want to receive epic topics about the city of New York, make sure to subscribe and follow me here and on all my other socials. Thank you for watching, see you in the next video, and remember, your home is my mission.